Hey guys, so it's time to start getting this front wall of the loft built. So I'm going to get set up. We're going to cheat a little bit with it, just because it's a 4x4 and they're flat surfaces, pretty easy to do, so I think I'm going to use a skill saw for a lot of it. Don't tell the Shelter Institute. There is some stuff we have to pull out the chisels for, but when it's just a flat cut, nice and simple, just a little lap joint, I'm going to use a saw. So I'm going to get set up, and I'll check back in. Sometimes working in these small spaces is tough. Doesn't matter where you put something, it's in the way. So I've got the first support of the loft up. I've bolted it in 3 places. I kind of left this middle one out, but basically I'm going through the 4x4, through the skid and into the brace that's mounted to the wall. As far as the construction, so it's sitting just on the base there, with a bolt at the bottom, and then at the top I've got like a half lap cut into it, so basically half this width, so it goes back 1.5 inches, and it's 3.5 inches tall, which is the thickness of this. So when I build the upper brace, it'll slide into that and lap over that side. And then I had to cut a notch out of the back here. And once this is all together, that's where I'm going to have 2x4s, again with a half lap cut in it, so it would fit in there and sit on top like that. And then that gives me, that'll be a blind half lap, so I can actually screw in from the top, and I've got 2 surfaces then that are supporting it, that one and the top. I've got to do the same thing on the other side here, but it'll be a little bit different. It won't go all the way down to the ground like this one does, because it's going to have a trundle bed that slides underneath it. So I'm going to start working on that one, and I'll come back to you. So here I have the next 2 posts. They're actually flipped, so this long one will be the doorway, and then the short one will be mounted against the wall. I've just used the skill saw to roughly cut the opening I need for the joining pieces there and up here. So 1 3/4 down. So I cut 1 3/4 off the one that goes this way. On the top, it goes all the way across to that one. I'm gonna get my slick now and clean these both up. And then I'm also just going to use the skill saw and cut out these little 1.5 all the way across. And these are going to have basically 2x4 in them that spans the distance, and they'll just be used as shelves and things like that. But yeah, I'm going to go get some clamps and clamp these together. Hey guys! So I went home mad yesterday. I screwed up. I was so excited to be pulling out chisels and all that kind of stuff that I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So basically, like I said yesterday, I cut this so when the other 4x4 comes across and joins up with this one, it would be a flat edge along there. And then I started to cut the 2 beams for this. And I cut out the flanges right, or the half laps on the top and the bottom right. But then, you know, just because it was approaching time that I had to leave, I forgot to flip the beam when I cut in my my mortises for the shelves that are going to go back. So these should be sitting this way. So the cross brace between that spans the room or the half lap would sit in here, and then my floor joist would sit in here and connect onto this. So basically these cuts should have been cut on the side here to go back and forth that way. Sorry, I was just thinking of maybe another possibility I could do. But yeah, so it kind of screws up my design. So now I'm trying to come up with a solution. I might cut these off. Just cut these right off, and instead of using a 4x4 on the top, just use a 2x4. I mean, all they're doing is supporting the floor joists. And there's not a lot of weight up there. It was just more decorative that I was using 4x4s. Shoot, that really makes me angry. Yeah, so I'm going to think about it a little bit, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is turning them that way because these are all cut, cutting this off, and do a 2x4 across the top. Same with the back. Instead of a 4x4 back there, I'll just have a 2x4, and then the other 2x4s will sit on top of it, you know, every 16 inches or something like that. But I am going to figure out this mess, and then I'll show you what I've decided. Alright, well I'm just finishing up for the day. I made my change. There's actually a YouTube channel online. I think it's Anna White is the name of the channel. It's the name of the person anyway. And she built a tiny home a while ago. And I kind of took part of her plans for the for this bed and modified them a little bit for my area and my space here. She's got a lot of great plans. If you've never checked out her channel, you really should. But I modified part of it, the step ladder and stuff like that, made it a little bit bigger because of the space we have. I think it's even taller, and the way I'm going to do the drawers and the bed. It was actually the trundle bed that is what I first found her tiny home that she did. But let me show you what I got going on now. So how I fixed my issue with cutting my 4x4s the wrong way, because I kind of wanted this a 4x4 across the top instead of 2x4s, aesthetically and also structurally. These cuts were actually supposed to face in, was the original plan, and then these 2x4s would slide into it like a dovetail type thing. But what I've done instead is I've turned it, I made them a little bit deeper, and I put my 2x4 right into that. So I think that's 1.5 inches in. And instead of doing cast iron like on the original plans, I'm going to support this side up. I'll make up some kind of a fancy edge or bracket here to support out to the edge here. And then when I frame in my cupboard, or you can see the tape on the ground there. That's the size of our twin, or our single mattress, so I guess it's the twin, that's going to slide in. There's a tape here, and there's the wall. So this tape here is where, when the bed is slid in, it's actually going to stay stuck out that much, and that'll be a couch there. The top of the bed will slide in underneath here and go all the way back in. So I'm going to, with this extra space here, I think now what I'm going to do is use a 2x6 or 2x8 and notch each of these out of it. I still need one more there. And then the 2x8 will actually fit on over top of it this way, and that'll support these sides. And then this could actually be the ladder up. This gives us a little bit of a shelf, and then on the back side of it, I will do either barn board or more skid wall like that on the back of it. And then our bed gets built in here with some drawers and stuff like that to use the extra space that the trundle bed isn't going to use. So there's still quite a bit more work to go. It's a little bit loose right now. I don't know if you can see it moving there. It's secured to the floor, but it'll all firm up when I put the header on it that goes all the way across and bolts into each of those. That'll make this one solid unit, and then when I put probably a 4x4 on the back there as well, and then I'm going to notch each of those 4x4s to hold the joists, or basically the roof of the bedroom, but the floor of the loft, and that'll tie everything in nice and strong. But yeah, I'll get working on that tomorrow.